stand on her toes and watch people walking outside. When Marie's mouth could move, she said, thickly, that she was grateful to the Queen for the radiance of her attention, but oh no, she could not be a nun. She was unworthy, and besides she had no godly vocation whatsoever in any way at all. And it was true. The religion she was raised in had always seemed vaguely foolish to her, if rich with mystery and ceremony, for why should babies be born into sin? Why should she pray to the invisible forces? Why would God be a trinity? Why should she, who felt her greatness hot in her blood, be considered lesser because the first woman was moulded from a rib and ate a fruit, and thus lost lazy Eden? It was senseless. Her faith had twisted very early in her childhood. It would slowly grow ever more bent into its geometry until it was its own angular, majestic thing. But at 17, in this spare chamber at the court in Westminster, she could be no equal to the elegant and story-loving Queen who, though small in body, absorbed all light, all thought from Marie's head, all breath from her lungs. Eleanor simply looked at Marie, and Marie had not felt so small since she'd last seen Le Main, her 6 Amazon aunts gone to death or marriage or convent, and her mother taking Marie's hand and pressing it to the egg growing between her breasts, smiling hugely but with tears in her eyes, saying, "Oh, darling, forgive me. I'm dying." And that great strong body so swiftly reduced to skeleton, acrid breath, then no breath at all, and Marie, pressing all her vitality down into the ribs, all her prayers, but the heart stayed still. 12-year-old Marie's bitter anguish at the high, windy burial ground, and afterward the 2 years of loneliness, because her mother insisted her death remain a secret, for the family wolves would strip the estate from Marie as soon as they heard, she being just a maiden bastardess formed of rape, not entitled to a thing. 2 lonely years of Marie wringing what coin she could from the land, then the hooves on the far bridge, and the flight up to Rouen, then across the Channel to her legitimate half-siblings' royal court at Westminster, where Marie appalled everyone with her ravenousness, her rawness, her gauche, big-boned body. Where most privileges accorded her royal blood, she lost due to the faults of her person. Eleanor laughed at Marie's refusal of her favour, mocked her. But. Did Marie truly think she would one day be married off? She, a rustic gallows bird, 3 heads too tall, with her great ruff stomping about, with her terrible deep voice, her massive hands and her disputations and her sword practising? What spouse would accept Marie, a creature absent of beauty or even the smallest of feminine arts? No. This was better. It had long ago been decided, back in the autumn, and her entire family agreed. Marie knew how to run a large estate. She could write in 4 languages. She could keep account books. She did all this so admirably after her mother died, even though still a tender little maiden. And what's more, she did it so well that she fooled the whole world into thinking for 2 years that she was her own dead mother. Which was, of course, to say that the abbey where Marie would be installed as prioress was so poor they happened just now to be starving to death, alas. They had fallen out of Eleanor's pleasure some years earlier and had suffered grave poverty ever since. Also, there was a sickness still raging there, and the Queen could not have the nuns of a royal abbey both starve to death and die of a horrible coughing sickness. That would reflect poorly on her. Her cold eyes, rimmed in black, bored into Marie. Marie had no courage to look back. The Queen told Marie to have faith. In time, Marie would make a rather good nun. Anyone with eyes could see she had always been meant for holy virginity. With this,